Distant Shores, Chapter 8, Enemy Mine. Oliver has just made a confession that makes your blood run cold. I'm not a pirate, Peyton. I'm a lieutenant in the Royal Navy, and I'm here for Poseidon's revenge. You stare at him, trying to absorb the information. He reaches towards you, then drops his hand. I fear you'll never forgive me for my deceit. Oliver, I don't understand. You were just using me the whole time? Yes, I thought you were just another villager. Someone who might let an important piece of information slip if I charmed you well enough. I didn't know that, He trails off. But it doesn't matter why I deceived you, only that I did. Why are you telling me all this? I couldn't bear to continue the pretense any longer. I couldn't let my falsehoods harm you. It's a little late for that. What happens now? I must return to my ship. The captain of Poseidon's Revenge is notoriously hard to capture. But once I finish my business with him, I shall return, and perhaps we shall meet again. He still hasn't realized who I am. I can use that to my advantage. How long until you leave? As long as it takes to gather my troops, hopefully no later than first light. That gives us time to escape, as long as we don't get caught. Go. I wish I didn't have to go. Oliver, duty calls. Indeed, and I can't afford any missteps in my mission. Because you hate pirates so much? Not me. Wait for him to elaborate, but instead he takes a step back and checks the street again. Farewell, Peyton. I hope we meet again soon. Goodbye, Oliver. You watch him walk away, feeling confused, but you know what you have to do. I'll figure out what my heart wants later. As soon as he's out of sight, you take off running. You tear through the streets of Tiburon, searching for your crewmates. You spot Charlie near the docks, grabbing her arm. Charlie. What's wrong, love? The Navy's here. We have to go. Where's the crew? Still rabble-rousing, I expect. Let's split up. You know, then keep looking. You find Adelia balancing on one of the dock lines, tossing various objects at Axton in front of a group of engrossed villagers, including a Navy sailor. Encore! Encore! Very well. Who thinks I can juggle 7? Oh, I do. Show off. Steal the show. You jump in between the twins, intercepting an empty goblet, as Ada throws it to Axton, holding it high above your head as if it's all part of the show. Oi! You've seen the great Axton and Ada, but are you ready for the magnificent Peyton? I am! A third part of the act. What will they think of next? Actually, we need an audience participation to complete our show. We need all of you to spread out and search the village for an item you think I can't juggle. Whoever finds it wins, and go. I'm gonna win! Foolish child, you don't stand a chance against me. Ada and Axton exchange knowing glances as the crowd disperses to play your game. What's wrong, Peyton? No time to explain. I'll meet you on the ship once I round up the others. You find Edward at the end of the dock discussing something in a low voice with another local. Edward, we have to heave-ho or cast off or whatever you call it. The Navy's here. Impossible. I saw them myself, and one of them is a lieutenant. Do you think he's the pirate hunter the Admiral sent after us? Almost certainly. How did you find out? How... Does that really matter right now? We can talk about it later, when we're not in danger. It matters because I need to know how much danger the village is in. If they know to look for us here, then sailing away might leave the Tiburon unprotected and in more danger. Oh, that makes sense. We'll just have to make sure we lead them away. We need to find the rest of the crew. Charlie's rounding everyone else up. Good. We have to cast off as soon as we're able. As the sun peeks over the horizon the next morning, you and the crew are well on your way away from Tiburon. Did we do it? Did we actually escape? We won't know until daylight. They could be taking cover until under darkness. We can't let up full sail ahead.
But Captain, that's dangerous when it's this dark out. We've no other choice, Maggie. Do as the Captain says. Aye, sir.
The twins scramble up the rigging, swinging fearlessly between rope and yardarm. You can just make out their conversation over the waves.
Oi!
Got it now.
Already done.
Where's the... over there?
I'll never be used to that. I imagine they gave their mum quite a bit of trouble.
You watch as they unfurl the last of the sails. The ship picks up speed as it catches more of the wind. You tighten your grip on the wheel, determined to maintain the bearing. All right, Miss Bellamy?
Yeah, I just wish we had a clear path.
Aye, I don't much like sailing into the unknown either. But we first must protect Tiburon, then figure out what to do about the pirate hunter.
Makes sense.
You trail off, thinking of the golden compass burning a hole in your pocket.
I just don't know how that fits in all this.
As the sky brightens further, you look behind you to find sail-ho.
Blast! How'd they find us?
Dumb luck is all. We'll lose them yet.
Pirate hunter is a talented man indeed.
I've never seen a Navy ship give such efficient chase.
What do we do now?
Jonas, ready the cannons. Aye, Captain. Come, Ginny.
Right behind you.
Edward peers at the ship through his spyglass, scowling. Maggie, relieve Miss Bellamy. He takes the wheel from you and Edward motions for you to join him. He offers you the spyglass. Is there commander of the Navy man you saw?
Yeah, that's Oliver, if that's even his real name.
About that, I don't suppose you learned anything useful about him.
At this point, I'm not sure everything he told me isn't a lie.
But he did manage to find us against all odds, so perhaps he's earned his reputation as Admiral's best man.
He seemed more charming than clever to me, but...
that was likely a strategy.
They're gaining on us!
You whip your head around to see that Charlie's right. The ship is noticeably closer than it was before, and it's only drawing near.
What do we do now?
We fight.
We're vastly outnumbered.
There's only one thing we can do. He turns to face the skyline to the north, where lightning flickers between the clouds. We sail into the storm.
Are we daft?
'Tis suicide. You look back at the Navy warship that continues to grow closer, then at the raging waters on the horizon.
I think it's part of the adventure. And who among us didn't sign up for adventure?
Catch Edward's eye, and he nods at you, and he turns back to the crew. You have to trust me. This is our only chance. We'll show them why it's a poor idea to chase Poseidon's revenge. Wind and rain batter the ship as you enter the storm, and rough waves pound against their hull. You scramble to hold on to the wheel as it skitters out of your hands. Hold steady, Miss Bellamy. We need to stay the course.
Aye, Captain.
You grip the wheel harder, and the waves are stronger than you expected. You grit your teeth. Keep the ship sailing straight ahead.
Don't waver, Peyton.
You focus on the stormy seas ahead, trying to keep your cool.
I just have to keep her steady until we pass through the storm.
High above you, you hear a distressed shout.
Peyton!
Look out below! Glance up just in time to see one of the sails has come loose and falling right towards you. Stand firm. Keep the course steady, and even as the sail gets tangled up in your feet. Maggie, help Miss Bellamy free of this blasted sail.
Aye, Captain.
Axe, what's going on up there?
Sorry, sir. It's under control now.
Keep it that way, Miss Bellamy.
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Aye, Captain.
The wind is shifting.
Steady on.
The waves are growing larger now, some dwarfing the ship. Everyone hold on. You manage to maintain your bearing even as the wheel jerks wildly in your hands.
I'm doing it. We might just make it out of... Peyton, look out!
Glance up to see a massive wall of water about to break over the quarterdeck.
Oh, shh.
Hold fast. I can cover free zone. Hold fast. Widen your stance and hold on tight as the waves douse you. Not today. Water hits you like an icy battering ram, but you somehow manage to keep this course steady.
We're losing them, Captain. Those Navy dogs won't be able to follow us for much longer.
Excellent. Good work, everyone. Especially you, Miss Bellamy. Just doing my job. Up ahead, you can see the sky clearing. Almost through the storm. Maggie, take the helm. I need you to man the guns.
But
I pray it won't come to a fight, but we must be prepared.
Understood.
Let Maggie take your place at the helm and move to follow Edward's orders, leaving the two of them on the quarterdeck. You've just started across the main deck when a huge wall of water crashes into the ship, sending everything flying. You barely manage to grab hold of the railing to prevent. And overboard!
Ginny! Where is she? There, behind us!
You can just make out the little girl's silhouette as the waves toss her like a rag doll.
Help! Someone please help me! Someone will have to go after her.
In those waters, then we'll lose you both. We have to save her. But look, it's already too late. You all watch in shock as the Navy ship pulls up alongside Ginny, and one of the sailors dives in the water to capture her. I'm coming for you.
No!
We can't let Ginny get captured by the Navy, can we? Rescue Ginny to save her from the storm and the Navy's clutches. She'll also be added to your captain's cabin, really. Allow us to save you, Ginny. We don't leave people behind. Not on my watch.
What are you...
You take off running towards the side of the ship before Charlie even finishes her sentence. You hold on tight to a rope as you dive overboard. Icy water hits you like a ton of bricks. Damn, that's cold. You look around trying to get your bearings. You should swim up, swim down, swim up. You kick your legs, pushing your body towards the surface until your head breaks through the waves. You spot Jenny's head bobbing above the choppy waters, just as a Navy sailor grabs her arm. Gotcha!
No, let go of me!
You start swimming towards her when you feel the swell of a wave forming at your back. I can ride the momentum over there in no time. I'm coming, Ginny. The wave surges up and up and up until you're almost towering over them.
Look out!
I'm not falling for that. Let her go. The wave crashes you right on top of the two of them, and you manage to break his grasp on the Ginny's arm. You pull him down beneath the surface. He quickly gets his bearings and spots you underwater. He starts charging towards you. Punch him in the nose like a shark. Scare him away like a barracuda. I'm gonna punch him in the nose. You pull back your fist, then let it fly through the water until you connect with the officer's nose. He reaches to grab his face, and you push him away from you underwater. The current takes care of the rest, and he's pulled further and further away. You wait until you're sure he's gone before you swim for the surface to find Ginny. You finally break through the waves and gasp into a breath. You can hear the shouts of your crewmates over the storm. Miss Bellamy, who let her jump in? We can't lose her too.
Be careful.
The rough seas crash over and all around you, but the rope anchors you to the ship. You see Jenny's arm waving a few feet in front of you.
Peyton, over here!
Wrap one arm tight around her for slight frame. Jenny, hold on tight. I got you. Don't worry, we'll be safe and sound back on the ship in no time.
What happened to that sailor?
Don't worry, I took care of him. He won't be bothering us anymore. Jenny lays her head against your shoulder as she wraps her arms around your back. You saved me. Of course I did. You cling tightly to each other as the crew hauls the rope, pulling you both back safely onto the deck. As Maggie rushes to wrap a blanket around Jenny, Edward seizes your arm. How could you be so reckless? Reckless? Jenny was drowning. That's beside the point. You can't risk your life like that. You could have died. Jenny whirls on Edward, her face pale and fierce with protective anger.
Don't you dare scold her, Edward. She saved me. The little girl pokes Edward in the chest and he looks down at her finger in surprise. Apologize.
You're right, lass. She did save you, and I'm grateful for it. I'm sorry for yelling, Miss Bellamy.
Edward, I like when you shout my name, although I can think of more pleasant circumstances.
Edward's eyes darken, and his intense look makes your heart start to race. As can I. Henry, take Jenny to the galley, get her something warm to drink. Maggie, find another blanket for Miss Bellamy. Maggie hands Edward a blanket. He wraps it carefully around your shoulders and pulls it tight to the front. His hands go to your arms, rubbing gently up and down, as if he's trying to stroke heat back into your chilled body. I truly am sorry for shouting, it's just... His voice drops to a rough whisper. It would pain me grievously to see you lost at sea, Peyton. The sound of your name on his lips kindle a warmth in your belly that helps stave off the chill. As you're being tended to, you look back in time to see the Navy ship rocked by a gigantic wave. Whoa, did you see that? They'll be blown off course for sure. We've escaped. For now. The crew cheers as the warship disappears into the storm, but you can't bring yourself to join. I wonder if Oliver's okay. You emerge into the eye of the storm and the ocean waves calm around you. Captain, there's an island up ahead. Good eye, Ada. Maggie, set course for the island. We'll hide the ship among its coves and check it over for damage. Soon, you and the rest of the crew are gathered on the beach, taking stock of the ship. Our poor home took a beating. Ships are resilient, Ada. And so are the crews. We have Poseidon's revenge in tip-top shape in no time. The little girl's still dripping wet, but she grins as she leans into Jonah's side. Isn't that right, Jonas? Aye, lass. At least... We finally lost the Navy. We have some time to rest and recuperate. Charlie, you and I will focus on repairing the storm damage. Damn Octavia for running off with Robert to take half the time with the carpenter. Maggie, help everyone else make camp for the night. We won't have light for long. She turns to the rest of you as Edward and Charlie walk away. You heard the captain. We need to make fire and shelter before the nightfall and collect as much food as you can find. Well, then we best get started. I should help gather the food, help gather firewood, help gather flint. Food. You head down the beach to where Ada has scaled a massive tree. At the base, Axton is laughing as he runs to catch the mango she's tossing down. You're falling behind. That's because you're throwing them into my head. I'm throwing them at you. I can't help your big head is there. Ada tosses another mango, but it slips through Axton's fingers and falls through the crack in a tangle of roots at the base of the tree. See what you've done? Stop distracting me. Ada just sticks her tongue out and responds. Axton rolls his eyes as he starts to contort his body and slip through the tight space to reach the mango. How do you do that? Axton unfolds himself and hands you the rescued fruit. Years of practice. Peyton, catch! Ada tosses a mango to you and you quickly add it to your bag. Soon it's filled to the brim. You're gonna have a hard time getting her down out of the tree, you know. She loves mangoes. Of course I'll come down. All the mangoes will be down there soon. I hope so. We need to start hunting game before it gets dark. Hunting game? I think you're on your own for that one. You look down at your bag full of mangoes. I'm gonna drop these off with the others. Should help with the firewood. You join Henry and Maggie in picking over pieces of wood at the edge of the beach near the tree line. So, did the two of you meet on the board the Poseidon's Revenge? I joined the crew almost the same day. First thing she did was criticize me cooking. Did not. I only said your galley could use more organization, and then your meals would taste even better. And I stand by it. She casts you a sidelong glance and you chuckle. The three of you continue gathering wood until you have more than enough for the repairs and the roaring fire. Jonas and Ginny are combing the banks, looking for flint. Found another one. Jonas peers down at her outstretched hand and then chuckles.
If you keep collecting seashells instead of flint, we'll freeze and starve tonight.
We could just huddle together for warmth. I'll help out. That way Ginny can look for her shells.
Ginny skips off down the beach and you bend to collect shards of stone. How is she, Jonas?
None the worse for wear, thanks to you. She had to grow up fast, what with losing her parents and joining a crew so young. But she's happy now, see?
Ginny raises a shell above her hand.
This one has a crab in it.
I'm glad. Finish collecting as much flint as you can carry and then head back to the others to see what's left to be done. Later that afternoon, the crew meets back on the beach. Charlie oversees the sorting of supplies, and Edward assigns everyone a task. Soon the repairs are almost finished, and the camp has been made. Maggie flops down near the roaring fire.
I'm exhausted.
Beside her, Henry's gaze is riveted to the game roasting on a spit.
And I'm starving.
Who knew working so hard could work up such an appetite? You look around the circle, but there are a couple of missing faces. Where are Edward and Charlie?
They're exploring the island, making sure there aren't any hidden threats.
They only just left, though, if you want to catch up to them.
You look around and spot Edward walking along the beach, gazing out over the horizon. I wonder what if he's thinking. I bet I could sneak away with him to a secluded part of the island and find out. On the other side, you spy Charlie stealing into the trees alone. She catches your gaze and winks. She looks like she wouldn't be opposed to some company either. Explore the island with Edward or Charlie to grow closer to them. You will have the chance to spend time with both of them if you want. I guess we'll do Edward first. Why not? As you approach, Edward looks up at you and nods. Miss Bellamy? Hey, wanna go exploring with me? He looks back at the crew, considering. Come on, Edward. They'll be fine. If there is a threat on this island, it doesn't stand a chance against our crew. Yeah, that's true enough. Edward rises gracefully, and you stroll down the beach together. Do you think this place is completely deserted? It's likely. There are many uninhabited islands in this stretch of sea, but that doesn't mean there aren't other creatures on the lookout. You notice the way his hand drops to the hilt of the sword, ready to fight at a moment's notice. Duly noted. The two of you round the bend to find a secluded cove stretching out before you. The sand golden in the sunlight, blooming flowers twine around the trees, and the breeze lifts their scent to you. Wow. Oh, Edward, look! You point to where a dolphin breaks the water, arching playfully through the air before splashing back into the ocean. You were right about there being other creatures on the island after all. Dolphins weren't quite what I had in mind. Grab his hand and start pulling him towards the edge of the water. What are you doing? Living out a lifelong dream, swimming with the dolphins. You want to swim with them? Why? Because it's an adventure, and I love a good adventure. Edward laughs. Never let it be said that the captain of Poseidon's Revenge shrinks from adventure. Then come on. You start to take off your clothing, and Edward follows suit, unbuckling his belt and hauling off his boots. That's better. What was that? Edward can barely drag his gaze from your exposed skin, and you feel yourself starting to flush under his hot stare. Nothing, racing you to the water. Take off running, but Edward quickly catches up, his long legs making up for your quick start. Distract him. You point up at the trees behind you, twisting your expression in a look of shock. Edward, look out! What's wrong? Made you look. Distraction only slows him down for a moment, but you've bought yourself enough time to pull ahead. You cheated! I'm a pirate now, remember? You hit the water a moment before Edward, and you lift your arms above your head in victory. I won. And I shall wipe that smirk from your face. Edward lunges towards you, catching you around the waist and pulling you under the surface of the water. Oh. For a moment, the whole world fades away. It's just you, Edward, and the feeling of his arm around you, holding you tight, keeping you safe. You float closer to him, reaching out to touch the hard planes of his chest. To your surprise, he doesn't pull away, but guides you closer until your legs slide in between his. His eyes are glued to yours, gauging your reaction. You float in the shallows together, your limbs tangled together, stealing away to the world of your own. All too soon, Edward slowly, reluctantly releases you. You can almost see his walls coming back up around him. You sigh inwardly, but you're more determined than ever to get past them for good. You stay one day at a time, Peyton. Once you're both resurfaced, Edward holds his hands up defensively. Shall we go meet your dolphin? Lead the way. The two of you swim into the deeper waters closer to the pod of dolphins. So, how does one introduce oneself to a dolphin? I don't know. You reach out to pet the dolphin's nose. I think she likes being petted. Edward follows your lead and lets the dolphin bump his fingers. The startled smile makes your heart or chest hurt. You were right, Miss Bellamy. I do feel better. Good. The two of you swim around with the dolphin, laughing as she tries to play with you. Keep up, Miss Bellamy. It's not my fault I can't swim as fast as a dolphin. Later, the dolphin has rejoined her pod, leaving you and Edward treading water by yourselves. He catches you watching him closely. What is it? Nothing. You just look peaceful, like the world isn't weighing you down right now. Perhaps it isn't. I didn't always have the scowl Charlie makes so fun of, you know. It might surprise you to imagine, but I was a cheerful young boy. I believed in an honest world and a happy ending. But not anymore. I don't know about happy endings, but I still believe in an honest world, even if it isn't always just. Edward, it doesn't have to be like this. I know you feel responsible for whatever happened between you and the Admiral, but you're not the only one to blame. You can let yourself enjoy life every once in a while without betraying your cause. Edward's quiet, considering your words. Perhaps you're right, Miss Bellamy, but I'm not sure I know how to enjoy life anymore. Not with my past sins hanging over my head. But for your sake, I will try. That's all I'm asking for. We should head back before it grows too late. Edward helps you out of the water, and you pull both your clothes back on. I hope you'll think about what I said, Edward. I shall think of little else, Miss Bellamy. You can be certain of that. Satisfied, you head back towards the beach with Edward following a step behind. Return to the others, considering your options. Why not? You catch up to Charlie at the edge of the beach, leaning against a tree, sipping from her flask. Come to explore with me. You read my mind. The two of you venture deeper into the jungle, using the sunlight filtering through the trees to guide you. Soon enough, you hear the sound of water pounding on the stone up ahead. The trees give way to a waterfall. You know what this means. I do. With a wink, Charlie starts stripping out of her clothing. That means we're jumping in. Charlie grabs your hand and pulls you to the edge of the cliff face. You climb up after the top. Okay, but we're jumping together. Everything's more fun when we do it together. You slip out of your clothing and join her on the edge of the cliff. It's a long way down. Charlie grabs your hand, her fingers warm and strong around yours. It'll feel shorter once we jump. Wind whooshes past as the two of you plummet towards the pool. When you surface, Charlie is a few feet away laughing. You know what my favorite thing about you is, love? My wicked sense of humor? That and how willingly you are to follow me into trouble. Swim closer, splash her playfully. I'd follow you anywhere, trouble or otherwise. It never gives you pause. Nope. You might be careless with yourself sometimes, but you always protect those around you. Charlie smiles and flicks the water back at you. The trait we have in common. The two of you swim for a while, and you can't help but smile at the sheer joy of on Charlie's face. You seem happy.
Do I? I suppose it's because we, came through the storm in one piece. It was a tricky bit of sailing, especially with new recruits.
But we made it.
Aye, and we'll be stronger now than we were before. Who needs Robert when I have you?
I hope you're not suggesting that I'm some sort of Robert substitute.
Nay, the two of you have played very different roles in my life.
Good.
In fact, there's never really been someone like you in my life. You're one of a kind.
You circle one another in the water, drawing closer and closer. You slide your hands around her waist and pull her near. Her lips are a fraction of an inch from yours, her whisper practically command.
Kiss me.
You press your lips lightly to hers, and you feel her smile against your mouth.
I've been waiting to do this again.
Her hand slides behind your head, fingers tangling in your wet hair. She deepens the kiss. Charlie. Her tongue teases over yours, and then her teeth nip at your lower lip. Her free hand finds your waist and slides over your bare skin. Oh.
That's right, love. Gasp for me.
Your legs tangle together, and you shudder as she rubs against you, body slick from the water. You grip her waist, keeping her close as you float together under the sparkling sun.
I wish we could stay like this forever.
Why can't we? You pull back far enough to blaze a trail of kisses down her neck, and she tilts her head to give you better access.
Eventually the crew will send a search party after us.
Fair enough. Just one more minute. You pull her back into another kiss, and the two of you make most of the embrace. After a much longer than 1 minute, the two of you climb out of the pool, get dressed, and head towards the beach. Night falls, and the crew stuffs themselves on dinner. While the others are cleaning up, you step away, using your free moment to sneak the compass from your pocket. As soon as it touches your skin, it begins to glow in the now familiar way. What in the heavens is that glowing? Edward. You jump, but it's too late to hide it. You stand there awkwardly holding the compass, its light glowing in your faces. Is this some sort of future magic? Honestly, I don't know. The compass does this whenever I touch it, and look at the needle. Brow furrows in confusion. When I held the compass, the needle just spun uselessly, but now it's pointing east. Aye, what does that mean? I don't know. I have no idea why it only glows when I touch it, or what it could possibly lead to, but I can feel in my gut that this compass is my ticket home. Edward looks away, staring out over the ocean. You can just hear him mutter under his breath. So the legends are true. Legends, what are you? He abruptly turns back to you, his expression resolute. This compass is too dangerous to keep in our possession with the Navy giving chase. We have to hide it now.